It's January the 4th now. It's cold today. Can you see? Some breath. Check this out. Look, I've had to take steps. Oh, where's it gone? There they are. Look, I'm sporting a long john to try and keep the cold out. Okay, where were we? We are here. Absolutely rock hard now. I think it's been about 5 days. I've actually lost count. So what we're going to do is we're going to break this out of here and look at surfacing it and shaping it and making it look like a nice thing. What I'm really worried about is the micro bubbles, the little tiny bits of foam, almost like foam in here. I've got to take it down quite far. I don't know how I'm going to do that yet. Probably my surfacing bit. But yeah, so as I'm trying to polish this up, these are going to form tiny little micro craters, aren't they? So it might be that I'm not going to be able to polish this up. But hey, it's all part of the learning process. I think the reason that these stayed in here so badly is because it is so cold and the epoxy was very gloopy. Very viscous is a better word, very viscous when I poured it. So the bubbles were sort of trapped. Whereas if it's warmer, then it would pour. I mean, you see people on the videos pouring their epoxy. You saw mine came out like thick molasses or treacle or something. There's just pours almost like, you know, water almost. So anyway, that's part of the problem, I think. But we're going to crack it open and see what we can see. Okay. Oh. Okay, so It's just taking too long. And using the belt sander makes it uneven because I'm going down too far in one place and not the other. Using the plane is working, but again, it's just taking too long. So I am going to go to the leveling jig. Oh, that's another one. Right, so plan C then. I'm going to take the jack plane to it, which means I've got to get it off there now. Blooming stupid man. How do I get it off there? Okay, bad. Whoa. So we'll get to this point of the project. This is where I'm starting to feel a little bit despondent because nothing's quite going, well, it's not going very well, is it? So I broke my leveling bit again. I now know why I've done that, because I'm starting with it on the piece, so as it's trying to spin up, then it just digs in and then bends it. So that's me, all me being stupid and inexperienced. So I was trying the plane. That's just too much like hard work, and it was digging in, and it wasn't, you know, doing a good job planing the epoxy or the wood for that matter with the burl. So now I've gone outside again, as you can see, and I've switched back to the old belt sander, and I do mean the old belt sander. You notice I'm constantly adjusting the belt. It's because it keeps wanting to ride one way or the other. So it either wants to come off or mount or go towards the body of the sander itself, and it just won't run straight. So that's another problem. So no matter what I try, I just don't feel like I'm getting anywhere. And it's just a long, laborious process. Whereas your Blacktail Studio man, old Cam on Blacktail Studios, it's a great channel. He takes it down to his local shop, woodworking emporium, and shoves it through a machine, and it comes out perfectly flat, perfectly level. I don't have that near where I live. I don't even know how to find one. A place with a giant belt sander that you can pay a few quid and just shove a little board through. Because it's too big to go through my sort of levelling plane. What's it called? Planar thicknesser. That's it. Anyway, go back to me now.
So much stuff. That's horrible. Look at that big hole. There's a hole and lots of different kind of holes. Oh. Okay, I'm going to take a break. Come back after lunch.
So, you know, I have a problem. I mean, the problem is it's not flat. I mean, I can show you. You don't need to see. It's not flat. It's kind of, it's thin this side and fat that side. So I've got to take that down. And if I just had a drum sander that could just take it off flat, then it's just a job of 10 minutes. But as usual, I don't have the right tool. So we're going to continue on with sanding, and just that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to go orbital sanding now, though. So starting off with orbital sanding, I'm probably on 40 grit, I think. That's the lowest I go down to. Really taking off some material. Got the extraction hose on though, so at least it's not flying all over the shop, which is good. And just trying to keep it level whilst also taking down those dots, which is air bubbles. So this is like the underside when Jim and I poured the board, as they say. Yeah, those are air bubbles. So you'll see slowly they are going to go away. And some of the big scary scratches that the belt sander has left behind are going to go away. But it's just a case of sanding, which is not very interesting, I'll admit. I don't know how you make this stuff interesting other than just cutting it out. So I think we're going to stop there. And we're going to go to skip forward in time, Blue Peter style, to where I've finished. You can also see it's sliding all over the place. But anyway, all right, let's cut this bit out and just go back, go to the finish. Stop. So I used a belt sander to take it down. This thing here was melting. There's loads of rubber coming off it. Good old Einhorn belt sander. It's never really run right. I might have to buy an expensive one. Look, it finally, the belt gave up eventually. Look at me. So I think I'm gonna have to, my next purchase is going to be a decent belt sander with dust extraction. Note to self. I'll put it on my wish list, my Amazon wish list, which you can find on my channel, and then you can buy it for me because you know I'm an influencer and everything. Right, let's get back to sanding this. I've got rid of a lot of the bubbles now, but anyway, yeah, we'll get back to sanding. Okay. This mark where I had a clamp, that's been pressed in. That's made a depression there which wasn't there before, So that's making me think that I should call it a day for today. This is not great, but look, it's my first attempt. I got lots of gaps to fill in. Maybe I should fill those in so that they got a chance to dry. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll mix up some epoxy, pour that in, fill in all these holes. But I've been at this hours. I can't be bothered. I'm going to do that another time. That's the end of this episode. Thanks for watching. If you have, like, subscribe, all that stuff. It really helps me out. And more misadventures in the next episode.